I was guest on their pod a couple years ago to promote the blog, and then basically I've become like a reoccurring character, reoccurring guest, and I started putting out just like front face like news videos on TikTok and on Instagram, and they started gaining a ton of traction last year, and then it just kind of made sense when Drew stepped away into more of a background role to kind of us like make a collab, and it's been humming ever since, honestly.
So what's the name of your blog?
Jawok.com, JEAWOK.com.
Got you. I thought so. So when I see a few weeks back when I seen you on their show, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've been following you on Instagram for a while.
Yeah, definitely.
And how do you say your name again?
Joaquin,
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
okay.
No, you're all good. You're all good.
For sure. So yeah, that's the awkward intro to the Ain't Got It Yet podcast, episode 26. Got my guys here, Marquis.
What's
Appreciate
up, man?
you pulling up on me, man.
Of course,
good to see you
bro.
again, and Joaquin. Thank y'all for joining me, man. So yeah, I was on they are from the Random Gold podcast. Very, very funny, very, very cool podcast right here in San Diego.
Thank you.
I was a guest on on their show on the Random Gold podcast. I want to say in 2021, about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And my plan was always for you guys to come and be on the show, but then life happens, you get busy. You guys took a break. I took a break.
Yeah.
I didn't even have this show back then, actually.
Yeah, you were just doing
podcast, and I had the sports show.
The sports show.
Right. Yeah, we pretty much really just talked about a little bit of everything, but we made it kind of like focused on sports when I was there.
Yeah. That was your thing. So I tried to keep it sports.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. You dudes is funny, man. Had a lot of fun. I was telling everybody, and actually, when I asked you guys, I was like, I'm in a podcast group here in San Diego. I was telling them about me. I was like, yo, this show is really funny. They're really cool dudes, man. We got to have them come be a part of this. But I'm not the one I'm sure it'll happen pretty soon, though. But anyway, anywho, what you tubing up to, man? How's everything going?
Man, I mean, so the podcast went on a hiatus a couple months ago. Drew, how should I say it? Drew pretty much got an offer for a job. And they put everything in limbo for a while. And it was kind of hard at first because we didn't really know what was going on. And it kind of put me in a weird spot because we put all that time and effort into this thing, and we were doing really well. Like, we had I would say about 4 or 5 videos that were in the millions. So just for all that stuff to just be at a stop, and when that's your whole life for years, it's like, what the fuck do I do now? Like, what do I do? So, I didn't, it put like a strain on our friendship for a little bit, but we fixed it. We brought Joaquin in, and I actually have been enjoying the recordings a lot more because Joaquin's a lot easier. He's a lot easier to have a conversation with, only because he's more versed in like music and movies, and so we have like a lot in common and stuff. And then Joaquin knows a lot about he knows a lot about politics or like UFOs and shit that you hear about it, but I don't know enough, and he can really break it down for me. I'm like, oh wow, okay. So it's been a good transition. We've been really busy. He's been killing it with the clips. I think we're just we're starting over. Like we're building it back up, building the audio thing, and I can already tell each clip. It's like people are like, oh, okay, wait, hold on. I see what these guys are doing. I see what they're doing. It's different, but I see it.
I'm sorry, one second. Very similar to me as well. I started this show with my homegirl Sarah. So it's me and her. I had a co-host to start, and obviously I clearly do it by myself. She moved to Atlanta.
Damn.
And since I've started doing broadcasting and podcasting, many people just like, bro, just do it by yourself. Like, even before this show, people just do it by yourself.
Yeah.
My whole thing was like, I want to have conversations. I never wanted to be one of the people that set up the phone or set up the camera and just talk to the camera.
Right.
You know what I mean? I wanted to have conversations, so I was like, I need a co-host.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But and so after she left, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just, instead of We Ain't Got It, I'm gonna just call it Ain't Got It Yet podcast and just invite different people up. So that way, I'm still having conversations, but it's just with a different person each week, and I'm not just talking to the camera.
Right.
You know what I mean? But very similar to you, I like it this way better.
Yeah.
I know Sarah's gonna see this and be like, "Dang, bro, like that." But I like it. And if ever I was just telling my mom, actually, like, if she ever moved back to San Diego and want to come back, of course I'm gonna have her back. But I very much have been enjoying doing it by myself. It's just one less thing to think about. Like, I don't have to worry about if someone else is gonna be here on time or if they're gonna show up or not. Like, how we're gonna play off the topics and everything. I could just do all of that myself. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. I was for a long time was like, I'm not doing a podcast by myself. I'm not. But now that I have them, like, I should have done this a long time ago.
I'm surprised that it seems like you do a lot of that, like the sports stuff. That's just all you, right? Yeah, it just seems like you're already doing all the work. You could have easily did it.
Yeah.
You could easily do it.
And see, I always looked at that as like, the sports show is like to give information on the guest about like their career, their game,
right,
their season or whatever. So I don't really I don't need a co-host for that. It'd be cool to have one, but I don't need a co-host for that. You know,
right.
I could add anything I'm curious about. I'm gonna just ask you, and anything you want to promote, you could just say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But this is like we're gonna talk about your show. We're not here to promote the show.
Right.
We're here to just kick it and talk. You know what I mean? So
right.
It's a little bit different of a dynamic. But I do agree with you. I could have done it a long time ago for sure.
I think so. I think so for sure.
How you liking being on the show, man?
I love it, honestly. So one thing that changed was I was doing just my politics videos are just like my topics. And I'd just be like, these are my 5 topics for the week. And I would just do the one man in front of the camera and just like not read from a script, but I would just do long form talk and then edit the clip down to 1:30 and then just put the captions on it, turn it on and put a trending song on it. And they would start humming after a while, you know, and I joined them, and it kind of made sense because I was coming out with my podcast, Crash Landing. That's a UFO podcast that just came out today, actually.
Nice.
Fire intro.
Yeah, it has a really good intro. My friend Blaine Graphic, he's a dope DJ. He did the fucking music for it. And, but yeah, it kind of just like, you know, when gears just line up, the timing just meant right. And I know that it's been a good thing because like they've pushed me, I've pushed them. It's not like we're all artists in the room, so I don't have an ego with this shit. So like I sat down with my first 2 clips with Drew and Betho, and I was like, "What's wrong with these clips? What do we need to do better? What didn't you like? Like what did you like?" And then I took notes and I changed them, and then like I sent those videos to Marquis, like, "What do you think about this?" Boom, 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 made notes, and then just like sculpted to like what everybody wanted. And then now it's like, okay, I can ride with it with just like on your notes. Like now they trust my hand to just go with it. Yep. This is what you're getting. And then we can just like, that's my piece of the machine. Cause like Drew, we're so lucky to have the team we have. Like, Drew is like definitely the spinal cord, the backbone. He does all the back end producer stuff, audio. Yeah. Nate does
he edits the audio and all that stuff together.
And he puts that out, which is a whole different part of the game that people don't understand. I do social media clips, and then Marquis does posting. Yeah, and which is all like, I do it for Jaywalk Media, and it's like, it's a grind. You have to really love what you're doing if you want to do it for multiple years. Yep. Like you guys have both been in it for years, and it's just like you got to do it when you don't want to do it, and you got to tell people no. And if you're in a relationship, you're going to have to fucking explain some shit and fucking reveal to them how much you actually want to do this, you know. And it's been a great thing being on the pod, and just I see a future in it. I know that our product is good, you know. Like I know we have I'm very lucky in the sense I didn't just join a podcast. I joined a big podcast with a big fan base and already has like an established footprint, and I just need to show up and just be myself, and like who wouldn't want that? You know what I mean? It's awesome. It's freaking awesome. Yeah.
Before we move forward, you said the transition of the podcast, or I guess it being on hiatus, kind of like put a strain on you and Drew's relationship. How so?
Because there was he wasn't clear on what was happening. So, in my brain, at the time, it's like, how can something we put so much time and effort with, and something that it works, how could you just take it and to me, it was like he was taking it and throwing it away. That's what it felt like. Mm-hmm. But I was just assuming. I didn't talk to him because I was upset. Mm-hmm. So we weren't even talking about what was going on. And I got everybody asking me, what's going on with the podcast? What's going on with the podcast? Where is it? So it was making me feel even more bitter towards him. But then we talked about, then he came over, we had a conversation, and it fixed it. But before that, it was also putting me in, I don't want to say I was depressed, but I was definitely in a very low, like, mental state because, again, like, when you're doing something every week, and that's, and it's not just you do it once a week. Once you're done with one podcast, you gotta get ready for the next one. Mm-hmm. You got maybe a day or two where you can like not think about it, but then the next few days you gotta think about what clips you're gonna post. You gotta think about what topics you're gonna talk about next week. Mm-hmm. How am I gonna say this? How can I make this funny? There's all types of stuff. Like people think, but a lot of stuff is off the top of the head. But a lot of that stuff I think of like, I'll think about it for days. Like, how can I say this and make that shit funny? Like, how can I make that shit funny? A lot of times they'll give me an alley-oop and I can just play off them really easily, but a lot of that stuff I like think in my head. So yeah, it's, so when you take that away, it just put me in a really weird space, and a lot of my animosity was towards him for a long time. And then, but again, after we talked, it was fixed. I think he knew too, because he'd be texting me all the time and calling me. I'm like, nigga, if it ain't about the podcast, I don't want to talk to you. Like, if we ain't talking about what we do about the podcast, I don't want to stop to ask me about fucking PlayStation and shit. I don't want to talk.
Right.
So, but it's all good now. It's good now.
That's real, man. Communication and friendship is huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. Like, you could, in any relationship, most people like attribute communication into like romantic relationships. But even in like just your friendships, like if you don't communicate, a lot of disagreements and unnecessary arguments and debates can happen. If you just would have said how you felt, they could have been like, nah, bro, that's not the case. And then you get to an understanding.
That's exactly what it was.
Absolutely.
He came over, I laid it all out. He's like, what? He's like, no. Like, he's like, I'm just, but listen, it's just, all it took was a conversation. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't ready for the conversation because I was assuming on where it was going to go. So,
And you guys have been friends well before the podcast, right?
Way before, since like 2008. Yeah. Since like 2008, yeah. We've been friends for a long time.
That's dope.
So,
speaking of friendship, what you guys, people always talk about like deal breakers in romantic relationships, like, oh, like I wouldn't date a smoker, or like if while we're dating, if you cheat on me, like it's over. But people don't often talk about deal breakers in friendship. Like you might know someone really well and become friends with them. Yeah. But like, what are you guys' deal breakers in friendship? Like something that a friend could do that makes you be like, you know what, I can't be your friend anymore. I can't rock with you no more.
I got a good one.
Okay.
So like if I see someone acting different in front of somebody different, in front of like new people, new friends, especially if they're like rich friends or something like that, or if they're like trying to get in with a new crowd and I see them acting different, like I take big note of that.
Yeah, you're fake.
Yeah, exactly. Or if I don't know you really well and you're talking some shit about someone who's not in the room, I wonder about, what do you say about when I'm not in the fucking room? You know what I mean? So, yeah, those are two really big ones in my opinion.
Mine would probably be if you don't make an effort to, it's going to sound like I'm like, they my bitch or something. But like if you don't make an effort to like hang out with me or like, just spend some quality time with your boy. Like if other things are important, like if it's always like getting pussy is more important than hanging out with your boys, or like getting loaded, whatever it is. Like if you're always putting something over your boys every time. I understand it. Everybody has a life. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But if it's like, hey man, I call you a week in advance. I'm like, hey man, we're all gonna get together and go to dinner. Blah 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 blah. And then you're always like, well, to me it's like, well, I mean, if I don't ever see you, are we even really friends,
bro? You want to be friends on your time.
Yeah. So all of a sudden you want to hang out. And I was like, bro, I invite you to like 8 million things. And again, I'm not expecting my friends to always be available because we're old. We got lives. We got, you got your girl, you got kids. People got kids. They got, they got responsibilities. But if it's like every time we invite you out and you always got some excuse, some bullshit excuse, it's like, all right, bro. Like I had a friend from middle school. It just got to a point where me and my boy, we were like, he had cancer for like the 30th time, where we were calling him, and he said he was going to come. It's getting close to that time. We're calling him. He's just not answering. Like, dude, like, we can't keep doing this with you, bro. We're not going to beg you to be our friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're like, that's what it felt like. We're like on our hands and knees, like, nigga, please be our friend. It's like, but it's like, we can't do it no more. We can't. And I haven't talked to him since. That was like 2016, and I knew that kid since like 2001, 2000, and I haven't talked to him since. It's sad, but yeah. Another deal breaker would be if your boy is talking to chicks that you either dated or you smashed.
Okay.
Now listen, listen, you can if you're gonna talk to somebody that your boy smashed, you gotta at least get the okay. Hey, is it cool if I talk to so and so? Yeah, bro, that's cool. But if you just go and do it because you know, that's not cool. I don't know if it's a deal breaker, unless it's like if it was like your ex, that might be a deal breaker. But if it's like a girl you smashed, like, bro, that's not cool. Come on,
That's
bro.
a pretty common one. I think that's a pretty common one. I would.
But if your boy's not, if he's not gonna ask you, is he really your boy? He's going behind your back and doing it. Like that's, I don't think that's
Well, okay,
cool.
what if it's not behind your back? What if it happens and he comes to you like, hey, yo, shorty that you used to deal with?
I respect that.
Okay.
I respect that.
So he doesn't
respect
need to
that.
ask you prior to, just if it happens, let me know.
Well, how long was it going on? How long were you chopping it up with her and I didn't know?
And what and when you say like, yo, like previous women, is it like a girlfriend or someone that you used to mess around with, or any woman that you ever dealt with?
I say both. Like, why? There's all these women out here. Why do you have to go after the ones that I? You know, if it happened like once, let it slide. But let's say it's happening like 2-3 times. Like, bro, what's going on here? What's happening here?
Nah, I agree.
What are you doing?
I lean on that same
Like,
same.
what are you doing?
Premise.
Like every once in a blue moon, that shit happens. Like girls will see you with your boy, and they'll be like, oh, and they'll be hitting you up because girls are fucking. Come on, man. Girls are fucking shicey. Like, girls are worse than we are. Like, they will. You know what I mean? So if your boy tells you like, hey man, yeah, Shawty was hitting me, bro. I had to do it. I get it, bro. But it's like 2-3 times. You're like, bro, what are you doing, bro? I don't understand why you keep fucking behind me. That's weird. That'd be a deal breaker for me, for sure.
I hear you.
For sure. That's not your boy. If he keeps doing that, he's not your boy.
I tend to agree. Yeah, I agree.
Not
I
your
agree
boy.
for sure.
It's a red flag.
Yeah.
Big time red.
I've never, and I think I've spoken about it on this podcast before. I've never been that way, bro. Like even in I didn't date like girls in my high. I didn't date girls in my high school. Like I never like if any girl that like dated or fooled around with or kissed or anything, any of my brothers or my friends, it was like I'm cool. I could see a girl and be like, yo, like, and even start kicking it with her, like really starting to like her, and find out that on the low she was talking to my boy too. My feelings just drop away. Like I don't even like you no more. Like it's not. I can't do it.
Yeah,
what y'all laughing about? What's going on?
There's the reverse of that when you do like hit up like somebody's ex and you're like, yeah, I did, fuck you. like, what? like, yeah, what are you gonna fucking do about it? Whatever. I don't know you like that. Like,
hey, yeah. Listen. Any girl I fucked that my friend had either been with. I've only messed with one chick that my friend was. He actually dated her. We were all friends. And it was like we were at a party and it just happened. And I felt like the biggest scumbag piece of shit. I told him the next morning. I went to his house, hung over, and I told him, I was like, dude, I'm sorry. She was begging me. She was like, don't fucking do it. I was like, I can't live with myself. I shouldn't have did it. I shouldn't have did it. I shouldn't have fell for your shit. So, you know what I mean? And when my boy did that to me, he did the same thing to me. He had smashed one of my exes. He was on his like hands and knees crying. I'm like, bro, get the fuck up. Like, but I appreciated how bad he felt because that's a true friend. Because he really felt bad because he felt like he slighted me. So, you know what I mean? If your boy does that shit to you, he's not really your boy. He's like he's around you so he can get shit from you.
the Skeet Davidson.
Skeet Davidson.
He's a Skeet Davidson.
Bro,
Lingering around, man.
Yeah, everybody's like, why do you hate Pete Davidson? I was like, because that's like some...
He's a lingerer.
Snake, bro, some snake shit.
No, it ain't, bro. He don't know Kanye. He not his friend.
Fuck out of here.
You don't owe Kanye. You don't owe Kanye nothing.
That's his wife. That was his wife, bro. Fuck out of here. That's his wife, bro. You can have any chick.
They was done. It was over with.
You can have any chick you want. It don't matter.
And he don't have no loyalty to Kanye. What he owe Kanye?
Kanye made graduation, bro.
So
what? Yeah, he owes Kanye everything. What are you talking about? Kid Cudi is Pete Davidson's favorite artist. You wouldn't have Kid Cudi if it wasn't for Kanye West.
That's all.
You should be fucking grateful.
That's music.
Nah.
That got nothing to do with your
Listen,
woman and her trying
Pete
to give me
Davidson
some
is
drugs.
fucking whack. Get him out of here.
I think it has to do with like what type of interactions were going on behind the scenes. So like,
I agree.
There's like times like there's Pete Davidson or Kanye are having dinner, you know, with Kim. Like, are they exchanging numbers? Are they like as friends? You know what I mean? Because like that's bullshit if you're going out with a dude and like with your girl, especially your wife.
Well, then that's different.
You know, and
That's
then like
different.
you're worming your way in there. You know, and that's because like that to me that would warrant like how full throttle Kanye went at that dude.
Well,
when it was
Kanye's
going on. He went wild.
He's just crazy.
He's
I
also just.
I don't think Pete Davidson was ever one of Kanye's friends or anybody that they was
Yeah.
going to dinners with that Pete Davidson owed him that loyalty.
Yeah.
That's like, bro, if I had my girl here right now, one of the baddest girls in San Diego,
Right.
and we break up, and
there's 6 months
downtown, and you bump into her, she trying to give you some draws. You're not gonna not take the draws because you was on my podcast. Like, you don't owe me that, bro.
I would DM
and I
you.
wouldn't be mad at you.
Nah, I would DM you and say, "Well, what's going on with this? What's going on with this, bro?" I would.
Well, that's
I would.
I believe you, and that's noble. But what I'm saying is, if she tried to give you the draws and you took them, that wouldn't be a disrespect or a slight to me. I wouldn't think.
But then, why would you want to keep hanging around me? You're like, bro, fuck that. That's a Grammy shit. Why'd you do that?
I agree with that too. I might not want to hang out with you, but what I'm saying is, you don't owe me. You don't owe that to me. Like, we're cool, but me and you, outside of me being on your show, you being on mine, we've never hung out outside of that.
I guess I just have different standards for it. Like, if I'm cool with somebody, it's like kind of weird. Like, because there's all these women out here, bro. Why do that? Like, why, you know what I mean? That's just me. It makes me feel weird. Mm-hmm. Now, if it's like a thing where it's like, you know, it was a bad breakup, y'all, and you're like, oh, I fucking hate that shit, blah, blah, blah. And then she said, I'm like, well, he hates her anyway, so he fucking hates her. So I would still message you, though, like, yo, what's going on with this? And if you start saying, oh, she's crazy, do whatever you want, well, he gave me the okay. He gave me the green light, so.
I feel it.
Yeah.
I feel it.
With stuff like that, though, I'm always super cautious because I got caught up with like a fight in high school because of that shit. Some like ex was like, yo, come through this party, blah, blah, blah. And like, we could fucking, whatever, I want to see you. And it was like this guy from another school, his girl was there. So I showed up and I got jumped like fucking because I was like tailing it. You know what I mean? Which is like, on some hood shit, that's like the easiest bait to bait anyone in on some shit, you know? So like, I'm always cautious of that shit, especially if like acquaintances are involved. If like, dude, if like that's someone's wife, like you can get shot over some shit like that. Easy, you know what I mean? Like that's I'm always super fucking cautious of, yeah.
I feel it. I feel it.
Yeah,
I don't even think I said a deal breaker for me in friendship would be, dang, I had it and I lost it. If you, so whoever you, like, treat me like, how do I say this? Like, if you steal from people, don't steal from me, bro, because you're a thief. You know what I'm saying? And I know that's a big ask, and it's kind of like a selfish thing, but it's like, bro, if you if you're a liar, bro, and me and you are supposed to be friends, and you lie to get ahead, but if we're supposed to be friends, don't lie to me, bro. If you're a thief and that's what you do, you steal from people. That's how you pay your bills and whatever. I don't agree with it, but bro, don't come and steal from me like we're friends. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
And it's like it's almost like hypocritical because it's like you only can like you got to take people for who they are. Yeah. But I'm like I've had friends that in a younger life when I was younger, not in I don't have any, you know, but I've had friends that were into some, for lack of a better term, nefarious things, and they didn't do those things to me, you know what I'm saying, because of our friendship. Yeah. And where they might meet somebody tomorrow at a party, and they might get him for what they do, they might get him. But we're friends, bro, so you wouldn't do that to me. You know what I'm saying? That's maybe that's not a red flag, but that's like a thing for me that's like... That's an easy deal breaker, for sure. Easy deal breaker. So yeah, bro, like, I know that's what you do, and it's kind of like a part of you, whatever, but... Yeah, and if your boy is lying to you, then he's not your friend. Why are you lying to me, bro? What the fuck going on? Yeah, I've rarely dealt with that. You can tell when people are lying, though. You just distance yourself from them. Yeah, big time. Yeah, if somebody's like lying, but if somebody steals from me or something, or if they're like they got an attitude, like they're like hot headed, and they like to swing on people and they swing on you over some little shit. Nah, that's it. It's a wrap. We can't be friends. I was about to say it's not really a deal breaker, but if you can't hold your liquor. I have too many friends. I won't say it's a deal breaker, but I definitely can't go out with you and I can't drink with you. I have a buddy right now. I like drinking with him, but if it gets to a point where he just gets fucking stupid. I'm not gonna say who it is, but he gets
I'm like, dude, how do you get this bad? Like, what is going? I guess alcohol affects people differently because I can get hammered, and I don't act like that because I still, even though I'm drunk, I still know what I'm doing. I know everything that I'm doing. Mm-hmm. So I never understood like he gets drunk and he just like everybody is the enemy. Like he's like, well, I'll fuck you up right now. I'm like, yo. I'm not fighting you right now, bro. Stop. Like, I know he's not gonna actually swing on me or nothing, but he just says it. And he's really trained in jiu-jitsu and stuff. So if he wanted to, he can fuck me up. But I know he's not gonna do it. He's just like, I'll snap your arm right now. I'm like, bro, I'm not. All right, you got it, bro. You got it, bro. Yeah. So I can't. That should be a red flag for me. But I have so many friends that get sloppy drunk and get ridiculous. I'm just used to it. I just call an Uber home.
I was a friend that I was never a sloppy drunk, but I just pass out. I just go to sleep.
Yeah.
But I definitely had to like learn my limits for sure. Like I don't know if I told it on the podcast, but I remember there was a New Year's that was supposed to go with my lady to her friend's party, and then we're supposed to leave that one around like 11:15, 11:30, and then go to like my friend's party with like the ball drop, and we really turn up over there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just so excited about finally getting there because we spent too much time at the first party. We get there, but as soon as I get there, I'm a few shots behind. I just start drinking, and I pass out.
It's always a bad idea.
We ended up making not before the ball drop. Like, so by the time we got there, like, they already had the countdown and everything. So I get there, and I just started. I was probably in the party for about 30 minutes before I laid down and went to sleep.
Damn.
So I was definitely, that was the night that actually showed me, it was like, you know what, I gotta do a better job of knowing my limits. So ever since then, I've been trying to do better with that. We all have our times when we don't necessarily stick to that, but you know.
Yeah. I got caught up a couple times.
Yeah, we all have.
Yeah.
What's your worst drunken night?
Have I heard them? I don't even know.
My worst drunken?
Both, yeah, all of us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all of us. Yeah.
Oh shit! I'm trying to think.
Well, while he's thinking, the worst drunk, it wasn't even that bad. I had this is back when Four Locos were still a malt drink and an energy drink.
Before they got recalled.
For the kids that don't know, these things were liquid fucking death.
Yes.
And I had drank like 1.5, which is just one is enough to fucking kill you, and. Like I said, it wasn't that bad. But what happened was I went to bed with this one chick, and when I woke up, it was another chick there, and I had to play it off like I knew she was there the whole time, but I had no clue how she got there. And I had to play it off for hours until she left. I had no clue how she got there. I was so confused, and I couldn't ask the other girl, and I couldn't ask her. Because it would have
look crazy.
Yeah, but what the fuck are you talking about? How you don't know how I got that one? Yeah, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
You a wild boy.
I was like 19, man. no, 21, 20. No, I was underage. 19. I was like 19.
How old are you now?
I am 33. It was a long time ago.
I'm sorry for you. No.
You
answered that like,
Yeah. Well, no, I had to think about it because the pandemic really fucked me up.
I feel that.
Because I'd be thinking, I'm 30. No, I'm 30. It's that year off, like, just didn't, it just didn't count. So then, like, I always fuck my age up.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Joaquin? What's your worst drunken night?
So, I've actually told you this one. Okay. So, I'm with my boy and like all of his friends. We're all hanging out like in one of those Hiltons downtown, and we're just taking shots of vodka, watching UFC, getting fucking rowdy, being like, we're younger, we're in college, so we're gonna do Gas Lamp that night. Like, I'm the local, they're visiting from up north.
Yeah.
So we're just getting fucking tore up in their room, and we hit Gas Lamp, and it's like 10:30, 11, and we go to like, I think it's like Club Below or one of those just horrible, horrific pits of hell in downtown. And all my boys go through the door, and the bouncer goes, "You're too drunk to go in." I'm like, "The fuck I am," motherfucker. I'm like, at this time, I'm like fucking an ex, like, rugby player at state, like doing mixed martial arts, like a big dude, been in some bar fights, think I can hold my own, you know. And he's like 6'4", big black dude. And I'm like, I'm not fucking scared of you. And I put my finger in his chest. And I just woke up, like, tore up, like, in a bathroom, like, fucking a couple blocks away, like, without my wallet, fucking all beat up, like, not fucked up, but, like, I had a couple lumps in my head. Like, I checked my bank. There was, like, $120 spent at Club Below that night. But, like, I learned my lesson. I got fucked up. I talk shit. You know, you talk shit to the wrong fucking person. You know what I mean? Like, you have to fucking be accountable for your words. You know what I mean? If you play that fucking pick bar fights and fucking talk shit at bars, like, like what's Qui-Gon say, there's always a bigger fish. You know what I mean? You're going to get caught up sooner or later. Like, that's one of those turning points. Like, it's that, a time with a girl, and fucking my brother's wedding. Like, I got too fucked up and made a scene at all three of those things that, like, I really had to, like, take some steps back, get sober. But, like, I was into drugs and shit, so, like, I had to take a big step back in my life. But, like, that pause and, like, that whole shit that happened to me is, like, the best thing that's ever happened to me. Like, out of that came jaywalk. Out of that came, like, a really healthy lifestyle, actually being fucking happy, a job I like, you know, being able to be an artist and express myself, like, at 100% on a megaphone. Like, I feel like I've won the lottery every day, you know, because, like, I should be dead, like, not on some, like, trying to act cool or anything shit, but, like, I've put my foot to the gas enough times to where, like, people who have done less are not here anymore, you know, easily, you know, like, if you play with coke in this town, like, you are playing with dice. It all has fentanyl. You know what I mean? I'm sorry to break it to you. If you're someone that uses and is listening to it, the person who's selling it to you is not your fucking boy, like, at all. Like, they'll sell you down the river. Like, when I was getting sober, I remember the biggest thing that made me turn was I talked to my dealer, who I thought was my friend. I go, hey, will you cut me off if I need you to? And he goes, nah, man, this is a business. Yeah. And I go, you will fucking dig my grave for me and lay me in it. And that's, like, it was one of the best things I ever heard. Like, I was one of the things I was like, oh, I need to fucking go to rehab and shit. So,
wow. I was really on the fence at first about the Mac Miller dealer going to jail. I was like, well, Mac wanted the drugs, so you got to make the other guy. I don't know. It was like, but now I'm like, nah, throw that nigga in jail, man. He knew what he was selling, and you took a great artist from us. You knew you were selling some bad shit, and you still sold it to him.
That's going into law now here in California. If you sell fentanyl and you know about it, you can go to jail for murder.
Good.
Yeah.
Wow. Good. That's really good. Mm-hmm. So hold on, how, like, it's just a fact. Like, if all the coke in San Diego has fentanyl in it.
Yeah, it's how much.
Yeah, it's, you know, I don't know if it all had, but they.
I've only ever smoked weed, so I have no idea about any other drug.
I saw a thing on, like, TV that was like, if you do coke in the U.S., there is a fucking percentage of it that has fentanyl.
Yeah.
If you do coke in the U.S.
I believe
because there's so many hands that pass through it from Central and South America all the way up here that, like, China sells that fentanyl to the Mexican cartels. They press it, and, like, there's a profit margin in there.
And then your dealer gets it, and he steps on it even more. He'll put, like, laxative in it, baby powder, whatever the fuck. But, you know, the only reason I don't know the numbers, but I mean, if you go to North Park or downtown, all the chicks in there are doing coke. If you see people go to the bathroom 4 or 5 times, they're doing coke.
And see, because
why are they sniffing their keys?
And see, it's funny, bro. I was in a last couple of years, I had a former friend of mine lived in Chula Vista, so we'd be hanging out in Chula Vista, different bars and, you know, different little spots in Chula Vista. And like I said, I've only ever smoked weed, so I don't know. You
don't know
you know, so we at the table, and we, you know, talking to some girls, and, like, every 15, 20 minutes or so, they getting up going to the bathroom. Yeah, I'm like, bro, like, maybe they stop drinking so much water, bro. They keep kind of, my boy just started laughing. He started laughing. I'm like, what's up? He's like, bro, they're not using the bathroom. Yeah. What the hell are they going to the bathroom for? He's like, bro, they getting high. And I was like, oh. And I'm like, you would have thought I was 16. I had no idea. I'm like,
I mean, that happened to me when I went to Hong Kong for my boy's bachelor party. Because you go to the strip club, you know, girl entices you. You go
Hong
to
Kong and TJ?
in TJ,
Okay.
yeah, Hong Kong and TJ.
There's the name of a strip club in TJ.
Yeah, I didn't know what the place was. I was very naive, and you know the guys would get up. Normally at a strip club, a girl entices you. You get up, you go dance for like 5 minutes, you come back. I'm at Hong Kong. They get up, they're gone for like 20 minutes. I'm like, bro, I was like, damn, bro, how many dances do you get? And the guy goes, they're not dancing, bro. And it just clicked in my brain. I was like, oh my God. This is a whorehouse. Holy shit. It blew my mind. I was, young, I didn't know. Didn't realize. It all made sense. Everything, I started looking around, it all made sense. Like,
we ended up going to Hong Kong that night, but I've only ever partied in TJ one time, bro.
That was my only time.
It went so terribly wrong, I was like, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah, one of the dudes that we were with got robbed, but it was his own fault, man. He was like drunk. He walked away from us. We're like, dude, you need to stick with us. Nope. He came back. They took all his money. He had like $350 in his wallet. They took all of it. He got robbed.
Happened to the dude that we ended up. The reason why our night went so bad. So I was with my brother. My brother used to go all of the time. Him and his coworkers and stuff would go all the time, and I would never go. Like, well, they started going to high school, and I was on some I would get on my football games. I had a girlfriend. I would go home trying to talk on the phone.
Right.
But I would be going to TJ, and so when I finally started going, like a couple years later, when I with my brother and some coworkers, when my brother's coworker's little brother came. And I'll never forget, bro, we left, we went to, I think, Coco Bongo, and then we went to Hong Kong. And we're going into Hong Kong, and I never forget, he had on a baby blue shirt, like collared shirt button-up with a red bow tie. I'll never forget. And we're going in, and he's like, hey, bro, I don't have ID. But when we left Coco Bongo, there was it's a big group of us, and only 3 people rode in the same car. My brother was like, yo, jump in the cab with them, we're going to meet you over there. I'm like, all right, so I get in with one of my friend's cousin, and then the co-worker's little brother. So it's the 3 of us in the cab. We get out, and my boy's cousin goes in. I'm about to walk in. The dude with the bow tie stops me. He's like, hey, bro, I don't have no ID. And I'm like, bro, they're not really checking. Just come on. They're not really checking. Just come on.
Yeah.
And I said that to him, and I turned around, and I just walk in, and I never looked behind me, but he never came in with us.
Oh.
And I just walked, and I'm not even thinking like when I sit down at the table that he's not with us.
Right.
I'm not, because I'm thinking about I'm with my boy's cousin who I've met him a couple times. I'm not even thinking about this kid with the red bow tie. That's my fault probably, but I'm not even thinking about him. So we get to the table, and under this other Mexican guy, this other guy that we met at Coco Bongo, he rode in the cab with us as well. And so we get in there, and we're sitting down at the table. A Mexican guy that we're with, he's, speaking Spanish, ordering all kind of drinks and all this time. We're like, yeah, I got it, bro, don't even trip. Orders over some beer, some shots, we drinking and all that, and they come to take the bill, and the dude ordering the drinks ain't got no money.
What?
The dude ordering the drinks ain't got no money.
The Mexican dude?
Yes.
Bro. How did it was?
And mind you, I had spent money at Coco Bongo. Luckily, I had literally $1 more than what we owed. My drink and my boy's cousin drinks were. I had $1 more than what we owed them. And like, oh, you owe us that? I was like, okay, how much for what I had and what he had? How much for that? And they was like, told us I had $1 more, so I gave that to them. We leave. We go back out the door we came in, but the way it is, there's an entrance on both sides of the street. And so we're standing right outside the door waiting for my brother and everybody else that was in TJ with us, bro, for like 2 hours. Just standing there just waiting for him, bro. And you got no phone service. I'm looking up in the sky like, bro, how did I end up in this situation, bro, for 2 hours just standing there, and you keep pulling out your phone trying to make a phone call that ain't finna do nothing. You know what I'm saying? But after about hour and 45, about 2 hours later, my brother and everybody else come walking. They're like, yo, where y'all been? I'm like, bro, you told us to wait at the door. We been waiting at the door. He's like, well, we was at the other door. So, bro, tell me why we end up go back to the border, right? Wait in line to go to the border. It's about maybe 2 o'clock at this point. We get to the border and we realize the dude with the red bow tie is nowhere to be found.
Oh, no.
Nobody can find him. And so my brother, the kid's actual older sister, and one other person, they hop in a cab, start driving through the city to try to find this dude. They go to the precinct. They go back to everywhere we went. They cannot find this dude. Mind you, and this sounds incredibly insensitive, but I'm like, I've never met him. I don't know him, and to be honest,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like this now. But at the time, I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I don't know him. I don't care.
Yeah.
My brother's right here.
Yeah.
Just walk back across the border and go the hell home. Like,
Yeah.
that's their problem, bro.
Right.
But he's like, bro, I'm not gonna leave my coworker. Da 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 da. So he stayed, try to help him. We never find him. Right?
Well, like when do you finally give up?
We didn't find, bro. Like I said, we were ready to leave at about like 1:45, 2 a.m. We didn't cross the border till 5 a.m. That's how long they were looking for him. That's how long they were looking for him.
Nah, I
bro.
would have been like you, like, nah, I'm out, bro. I'm out.
The first hour and a half, 2 hours, I'm like, hey, we need to find him. After that, I was like, bro.
Yeah, you know.
I got the people I.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bro, what you want me to?
That's
bro,
how I felt. It was like,
bro.
yo, I got my brother.
Come on, bro.
Like, hey, this
What's-
night is a watch.
Yeah, what you want me to do, bro?
Right? And so it finally gets to that point.
He did his due diligence after 2 hours, bruh.
It finally gets to that point.
At
So
2 in the morning?
Exactly.
Yeah.
My brother's now wife was with us at the time too. We actually rode in her car, and my brother. Oh no, she was actually like, yo, I gotta get home. Like it's damn near 6 in the morning. Like I gotta get home.
Yeah.
So we go. My brother's like, yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna let her leave by herself. So he goes with her, and I'm like, and I'm going with my brother. If I get lost again, at least I'll be with my brother.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going with my brother. So we go back to the car. We get to the car, right, and we take a cab back to the car. We pull up to the back of the car. We get to the car and look like between the cars, and we see the kid laid out in front of the car. But mind you, bro, we've been looking for him for hours.
Oh my god.
All we see is his lower half and his legs. I'm getting the chills even telling the story. When I thought he was dead.
Right.
When I saw his body laying there, I thought he was dead. I'm like, oh. I didn't even walk over there. I let my brother and his wife, I didn't even walk over there.
Yeah.
They go, like, my brother kick him, like, yo, bro. He just turns like, yo, what the hell happened? Go through his pockets, his phone, his wallet, his sunglasses, everything is gone.
What happened?
The shirt that he had on was like everything. I don't know. Oh, he said when he couldn't get into the strip club, the protocol was just go back to the car and wait.
Right.
So he said he went back to the car, and we took so long, he said he just laid down and went to sleep. And while he was asleep, somebody
Robbed his ass.
took all his stuff.
Wow. Wow.
Like, bro, so that was my one. I was like, after that, I'm never going back to TJ, bro.
Wow.
I had a terrible experience. I'm never.
TJ's wild.
It's for me, it's too stressing, dude. Like I'm too stressed when I'm down there. I just think about like, you know,
Too much can go wrong.
cartel and like what if this happened with it? Yeah, I just don't like it.
Too much can easily go wrong.
That's how I feel about it. And my brain is just like anxiety just goes too crazy for me.
If I didn't speak Spanish, no way in fucking hell I'd be going down there.
And when I went, it was we were all black. Like, and we were with this one chick. She was like just making it more, like, you know, just like adding more, like she's just being extra. It's like they already don't like niggas, and you like the niggas they don't like. Like, and I don't want to be around you because they gonna think I'm like you. So I don't even want to be around you. It was a whole.
I feel it.
Man, it was a whole mess.
I feel it.
It was a whole mess.
Yeah.
It was a whole mess.
I do want to. I do want to experience partying in different countries, though.
Yeah, I'm going to London in October. I don't think I'll be partying, but I am going to go to London. So we'll see what it's like out there. Even that, it's like stressing me out because I'm like, what if something happens out there and I'm in a whole different country and it's like you can't just like go home. You're in a whole different country. It's just like the concept of it freaks me out.
What are you going to London for?
All right, so so when I was a kid, I used to listen to this pop band named S Club 7. They used to have they had a show on Fox Family and ABC Family. It's like real pop. It was like a pop UK band. They're like on the kind of like Spice Girls and like what else? Do they have any other? They had some other ones just like them, but they like a bunch of those bands were like around at the time. And when I was a kid, I fucking loved them. Like. But I could never see them on tour because they always toured in the UK. Mm-hmm. They never came to the US. And now they're doing like a reunion tour. They're all old as shit, but they're doing like a reunion tour, and I'm gonna go, and I'm very excited. But you know, it's like
so you're going to London to see them?
To see them. That's where I'm going. Yeah. You know, I'm all the 30 years later. I'm finally gonna see them, and one of the members dies, bro. This year he died, bro. Devastated. I was at work devastated. I'm like, bro, I just spent like $500 on these tickets, like for these really prime tickets to see the whole band, and you're fucking dead, bro. I mean, there's 7 of them, but just like knowing you'll never see all of them, it's just like, it's devastating.
I'm trying to think if there's anything that I was like all about as a kid that if they came Power Rangers.
Fuck yeah. Oh yeah.
If the original Power Rangers came,
that'll never happen either because Tommy's gone, bro.
Yeah.
That shit's crazy.
The original Power Rangers, I would definitely go and check.
Yeah, I just saw the Black Ranger at Comic-Con.
Really?
Yeah, but I saw him a few years ago at Comic-Con, and I was like, hey, what's up, man? He was like $60 for a picture.
What?
Like,
he said it like
I
that?
swear to
He didn't even say what's up back?
Nope. He was like, it's $60 if you want to take a picture. I was like, I'm good, bro. I probably would have did it if he would at least shake my hand.
If he just said, what's up, how you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I charge $60 for that.
No, straight up, $60 you want to take a picture. That's what he said.
Hey.
I was like, you were my favorite Power Ranger, and you're really rubbing me the wrong way, bro. I know you got to get your bread, bro. I know you got to get your money, but that just wasn't it for me.
As a kid, I didn't realize, and I'm not sure how true it is, and if it was done on purpose. It definitely seems like it, but how, like,
The black was black, the yellow ranger was Asian.
yeah.
They did that shit on purpose.
I'm like, yo, that's and how they had the Black Ranger break dancing and like talking a certain
He was
way.
still the coolest character. I didn't give a fuck. He was my favorite character.
He was definitely the one I wanted to be like for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like
He was-
in like retrospect, thinking back, it's like, yo.
The Power Rangers was so confusing because you had the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. You don't know, when you're a kid, you don't know about the ins and outs going on. Then it switches to Turbo, and they got this little stupid kid as the Blue Ranger, and then I forgot, they had like this Asian dude as the Black Ranger. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Who are these people? Who is this Asian guy as the Black Ranger? Why is the Yellow Ranger black now? I didn't realize the Yellow Ranger had died at the time. But yeah, it was...
I was all about Power Rangers, bro. I used to know all like, cause like they show like their real name as whatever
Yeah,
they play.
yeah.
To know all their real names and their I knew their real name and their character names. Like me and my brothers and my dad went to see the first Power Rangers movie in theaters.
So did I. So did I.
I remember them jumping out the plane with the.
Oh, that intro is fire.
Yeah, bro, I was
that
like,
intro is
I
fire,
was sitting there watching,
yeah.
yo, this movie finna be.
Oh, see,
Right?
You know, I like the first movie is my favorite one, but
Don't you
no,
dare
no.
disrespect that
no,
movie.
I love that movie. No, what I was gonna
Okay.
say is I liked them when they were in the ninja costumes. That was my favorite part of the movie. And then they got like the new like Power Ranger episodes. I was like,
Yeah.
I like the ninja ones.
I didn't
better.
even
The ninjas were
and see.
better.
I'm like that with stuff, bro. Like when they went from Mighty Morphin to Turbo or whatever, I didn't watch.
I watched Turbo, but I didn't like the little kid. He really pissed me off.
I did, but I just couldn't get in. I watched like maybe 3 episodes. I couldn't get into it.
Yeah, I watched the Turbo movie, but it just wasn't the same.
I've noticed I'm like that with things. Like my whole family, but me and my mom specifically, when the show Survivor first came out,
My mom loved that
first
show.
season. We were all about it. Like
Yeah.
loved it. Like never missed the episode. The house was silent when Survivor was on. When season 2 came on,
Done.
I watched like the first like episode or 2, and because I think for me anyway, because they weren't that first cast,
Yeah.
I was like, bro, I'm not watching this.
Yeah.
Like I don't even want to watch this.
That
But
OG cast is so stacked, though.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then I never like the first season, and then I watched it nonstop. It was The Stand. I watched the first 2 episodes of season 2 and never watched it again. And then during the pandemic, you need to find stuff to binge watch.
Yeah.
And I fell back in love with it, and now I'm all about Survivor again.
It's a badass concept. I remember when it first came out, that I don't want to say this as it is, but that's how I remember it. The guy who won it was that gay dude.
Yeah.
And he won $1 million, and the reason he won it was in the final 3, he backstabbed somebody. He said he was going to vote for somebody, and then he voted for the other person.
Why there be that gay dude?
That's how I remember him as.
Well, that's he was very like proud about.
Yeah. And he won it, though.
Which I'm sure was a big
He
deal.
won it,
It
yeah.
was probably a big deal at the time.
Yeah.
Sadly, like how
That's
you-
2000 times were much different.
yeah, like you guys were saying, even about Power Rangers, like the Black Ranger was black, like fucking those old timey Fox people were like, you're lucky you even get a black character, you know what I mean? Like at those fucking times. But yeah, I remember Survivor was so huge, it was a phenomenon. It was the biggest show on TV, but
Fear Factor was better, but
Not at all.
come on, bro. Joe
Not
Rogan,
even-
the
get fuck out of here.
first season, it's going to be Survivor. As a series whole, I like Fear Factor.
Fear Factor was better.
Yeah.
Survivor's got like cult fans that live and breathe Survivor. I don't know if Fear Factor ever had that.
This guy Joe Rogan though, so
I mean, Joe Rogan is dope.
Are we going to disrespect Jeff Probst? Jeff Probst is a
I can't
fucking
believe- I can't believe
beast, bro.
He looks the same too.
He looks-
I've been seeing clips on TikTok. I'm like, that nigga did not age, bro.
Okay. Before I'm prefacing this with something else. Is Survivor a game show? Do we count it as a game show?
I would say.
I would say so. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, because I was saying, I don't know if it was on Twitter or Threads or Insta, I don't know where I was saying it, but I was saying that Steve Harvey on Family Feud is probably the greatest game show host of all time. And then I thought, and I tweeted it right after, I was like, if Survivor counts as a game show, then we got Jeff Probst is in the running for best game show host of all time.
Steve Harvey's up there. I don't know if he's the best of all time.
Who's better?
Who's the weakest link chick? What was that lady?
She was dope. She was dope.
The weakest link.
She was dope.
I'm thinking of iconic game shows.
Trebek.
Yeah, there you go. Jeopardy. That's probably number one.
He has to be ahead of.
He's probably number one.
He has to be ahead.
Steve's up there though. Steve is up there though.
I'm older, so Bob Barker is there, but I don't think that he counts anymore because how much time
he's in there.
Yeah, Bob Barker.
You're right. I definitely jumped the gun giving Steve the credit.
But dude, the thing is though, like Steve Harvey is remote drop television. Like if fucking Family Feud is on and like I'm at the house with my family, like it's fucking on.
I think you say Steve because you have a recency bias, which is fine. And Steve is great. Steve is a great game show host. He's fucking hilarious. He makes that show because of the way he reacts to people is fucking hilarious.
He's an amazing stand-up. So like he's just literally getting thrown softballs all the time with like these corny ass.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
He's not an amazing stand-up. I saw your posture change. He's not an amazing stand-up.
I've never seen anything where I thought he was that great. Kings of Comedy, he's probably the weakest one. DL,
He was
Bernie,
he's the weakest of the Kings.
Cedric.
He's also ringmaster though.
If I'm ranking the Kings of Comedy, I think it goes
Bernie,
Ced, DL, and then Steve.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad if somebody swapped Cedric and DL.
I wouldn't be mad.
I wouldn't be
either.
mad, but for me, Ced is ahead of him for sure. Steve Harvey,
I've never seen a Steve Harvey joke that if I can't remember a bit that you have,
You don't remember none of his bits from Kings of Comedy?
No, I don't. That maybe I need to rewatch it.
Titanic bit was the one I think.
But when I was a kid, if you didn't make me laugh when I was a kid, I just didn't think you were that funny. And I grew up with that same notion, like you couldn't make me laugh as a kid. Bernie Mac was telling jokes that even when I was a kid, I was fucking crying laughing because he was hilarious. So
Bro, I remember when Kings of Comedy came out, wanting to go see it, and my parents like, "There's no way we're taking y'all to go see that. Are you crazy? I'm not going to see that."
Yeah.
And then when it came out, like for it comes to to back then it was VHS.
VHS, yep.
But then after that, then it goes to like the I don't want to say ABC, but it goes to TV.
Yeah.
And I remember late one night, bro. It was a Friday night. It had to be like 12 o'clock, and Kings of Comedy came on one of the.
Yeah.
Oh my! I couldn't believe it. And it was like fully like uncensored, all the curse words, everything.
Yeah.
And me and my brother saw it, and we used to be the ones that like we'd like see like what's about to come on next. Like we trying to like put our night together. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We seen it was like, yo. Like we went, made sure my parents' door was shut. We listened to their door, make sure they asleep, and we went like turned it up just enough that we could hear it, but not too loud to where they could hear it.
Yeah.
And we was in there dying laughing watching. Same thing with Jamie Foxx. I might need security.
Oh, great.
I might need security.
Yeah. That when I grew up on so many great black stand-ups, I was watching like Dave Chappelle, I was watching Cat Williams, Kings of Comedy. So then I was just talking about this recently. I remember being in like 9th grade and somebody was showing me like stand up for Dane Cook, and I was watching it with like a stone face. And I was like, this is not funny.
Yeah.
He's like talking about like, he's like, oh, we're gonna go to the Burger King, blah, blah, blah. But then I had to realize, I was like, this is like white people humor. Like it's funny to them and I shouldn't be hating on it, but I was like, I don't understand how you think this shit is funny. I don't get what's funny about it. So, but I came off as a hater, but like, where's Dane Cook now?
I tend to agree with that, but then you look at, I got Bill Burr as the second
Bill
greatest.
Burr is
He's the second greatest behind Dave Chappelle to me.
I have no.
It goes Dave Chappelle and then Bill Burr if you ask me.
Tom Segura's up there too. Tom Segura has
Absolutely.
me. Dude, Tom Segura has
He's
me.
hilarious.
No, but
He's had a new one that just came out too.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. I need to watch
Okay,
it.
it's hilarious.
Yeah, no, those are different. Bill Burr is fucking hilarious. When he has a bit about his wife getting mad at like it was like something about like black people, and he was like he's always saying where how he like there's times where like he shouldn't argue with his wife, and this was especially a time where because he's white, she's black, and she's getting upset, but she was like saying something that just wasn't true, and he just couldn't hold his tongue, and dude, it's like the funniest shit ever because he's like I know I shouldn't say anything. Dude, Bill Burr is great.
One of my favorite, I think it might be my favorite Bill Burr bit is how he's like how black people are smart enough to put the curse word in front of the racial thing. He was like, you're a white dude. Oh no, behind it. I'm sorry. He was like a white dude. Like, this fucking black guy. He was like, so a black dude was like, man, this black motherfucker. He was like, black people they're smart enough to know to put the curse word behind the ethnicity. It's so genius. Some of my favorite ones. He's just like, I would have never thought about nothing.
He has another one about the WNBA. They're talking about how they don't understand why they don't get enough money. He was like, you don't fucking know why. Yeah, I have to sit here and pretend like you don't fucking know why you don't get enough money, dude.
Okay, so let me ask you: do you guys think Kevin Hart is funny? Do you laugh when you watch Kevin Hart stand up?
I used to. He's not funny anymore.
Have you seen the most recent one on Peacock?
The last one I saw, it was released on Netflix.
Reality Check. He's got a new one called Reality Check on Peacock.
I saw it, but I think I'm done.
Oh, you saw that one?
No. I saw the last one
out.
The last one that made me laugh. He released it in the theater. And he had a bit about like taking the trash out or something. And it was he had some really funny bits on there, but he released like 2 on Netflix, and each one I was like, dude, come on, man. I don't know what happened to your brother, but these jokes they're just too like family friendly now. Like they're just like they don't.
And see, I feel he made it a it's I don't want to be too critical. Like it's like. It seems like he made it a point to be controversial with his comedy in this most recent one. Like it was like, I'm going to say some things about people that it may make them upset, but everyone else is going to laugh, so I'm cool with that.
See,
when before, he would have never wanted to offend anyone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But now it's like, he's like, you know what? I'm going to say something. Like he even said, he was like, you know what? LeBron James is a good friend of mine. He's like, well, I don't know. He hasn't heard this joke yet, so we'll see. So he's like I'm gonna talk about LeBron being bald, and I'm gonna shoot at some of my friends and some of these other celebrities. I might not be friends after I tell the joke, but y'all gonna like it, so I'm cool.
I respect that.
I like comedy that when you're watching with somebody, they might get offended by it. Like I remember I was watching the Dave Chappelle comedy, and he was saying the most. I think he was talking about like, I'm sure he was talking about like transgenders or something, but he was saying shit. And the person I'm watching with, they're like, that's not funny. And I'm fucking like crying, laughing. Because I like comedy where it's like, it's so fucked up that you just said that it's fucking hilarious. That's the comedy I like. That's the shit. Like Corey Holcomb. Mm-hmm. He says the most fucked, like he has a whole bit about abortion. And it just keeps going and going and going, and it's so uncomfortable, but it's so funny because you think he's gonna like let off the gas, and he just keeps making it worse and worse. Oh, I'm good.
And you guys familiar with the comedian Andrew Schultz?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's another one. That's hilarious.
Love him. I love him for that reason.
He's hilarious.
He doesn't care. He lets everybody have it.
He roasts everybody.
He will talk about the gays, about the blacks, about the Asians.
And that's how it should be. Everybody should get it.
Exactly.
If the joke is funny, you can say a joke about anybody if it's funny. Mm-hmm. Make the joke funny.
What's the intent behind it? Are you trying to make me laugh? If like I'm saying a joke, like first off, if you're with black guys and you're saying a joke, it better be fucking funny.
It better be funny.
You know what I mean? If you're going to say a race joke, it better be fucking funny.
Yep.
Secondly is like, am I saying it because I think it's funny and I think it'll make you guys laugh without hurting your feelings? Like, that's way different than me saying some bullshit.
Yeah,
you know, like, because like there's some things you'll hear like on social media, like it'll be like a skit or something or a clip that's meant to piss you off or meant to make you laugh, but it's just like overtly outrageous, you know, and it's not necessarily like comedic substance, you know. It's a weird. I think comedy's changed as a whole in the last like 20 years, like on a crazy level. Like it used to be like HBO stand-up used to be the standard,
and
then it was like Netflix, and now Netflix is like being competing with all these different like independent people like Louis, Tom Segura, Tim Dillon, you know, and I think the thing with Kevin Hart's like he's just been corporate and he's trying to get. I read his book, like his first book that came out. I'm a big Kevin Hart fan.
Same.
And after reading that book, I'm like, yeah, that dude is a fucking grinder, deserves everything he's got. But
I like Kevin Hart's personality. So I want to keep that very clear. His stand-up just took a dive, but he's doing a million things. So I didn't expect his comedy or his stand-up to still be funny. I really didn't.
I actually laughed out loud at his the reality check, the one on Pick. I laughed out loud at that.
I'll check it out
a handful of times.
I'll check it out.
His last two, like I was watching that.
Yeah.
Like, so he say something that's like, Dave Chappelle, I'm dying laughing. When I used to watch Cat Williams, I had to hold my stomach and fall over. Like,
Cat Williams, man.
Kevin Hart hadn't took me there for a while.
Yeah.
But he did in this one.
Yeah, you know, stand-up's hard. So, you know, if they make me laugh out loud, it's crazy. Like, I recently went and saw Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock at the VA House Arena. I was so in awe that I couldn't even take in most of the jokes because I was just like, I can't believe I'm like front row in front of these fucking legends, bro. And I was afraid of getting roasted because I was like right there. That dude Donald Rawlings though, he was the funniest person.
Ashy Larry?
Yeah, dude. So he was so for the whole time.
When I went and saw Kevin Hart live, all his openers were funnier than him.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Easily.
Yeah. I went and saw that he's an Instagram Country Wayne. He was a social media guy, so like when I went, I was like, I don't think he's gonna be funny because he does skits on the internet. Dude, he had me in tears the whole time. I was like, dude, he's real. His stand-up was very good. I was shocked. I wanted to ask you though. You still do like sports and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, what the fuck is going on? Bronny had that. He went to the hospital for cardiac arrest. What is going on with all these young kids having heart attacks and whatnot? Like, what is going on?
I don't know what to attribute it to, bro.
I don't understand.
Like, 'cause it's not a new thing. Like, this has happened. Like, these anomalies in sports happen where, like, Len Bias. You just seen a DeMar Hamlin.
Who was the football guy that happened to?
Yeah, DeMar Hamlin.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And even like, so it's not a new thing. Like, there's been these anomalies in sports where people like seemingly healthy athletes just like fall out.
Well, you would just assume they're the healthiest of healthy.
Right. So I don't know. Since it happened, I've been trying to, like, because I figured I was going to have to talk about it on the podcast or on the sports show, but I'm like, I don't know what to attribute it to.
Right.
It's the wildest thing. Like, you even, like, look at, like, I mean, it's a fiction movie, but it's a real thing. Like that movie John Q.
Oh, great movie.
Like, Denzel's son is running the second base and just falls out.
Great
It's like, found out his heart is, like, I actually, in a much, I don't want to, like, be dramatic, in a much smaller scale, like, I had that happen to me as well.
Really?
In basketball practice in middle school. I was in practice and I just, like, my heart started, like, felt like my heart was like about to like pop out my chest. I remember like I went to a knee and I just like was like laying on my back. Coach called my dad to come pick me up. And I couldn't do sports for like a year. Like
really?
Yeah, I was out of sports for like a year and a half. And even when I got back into it, like for a long time I couldn't drink dark soda. I couldn't have caffeine because it would get my heart going too fast. And even when I got back into sports, like I would have to take it easy. And sometimes I would like do too much and have to take a break. Like so, it's like it's just it's not a new thing, but it's like and it's knock on wood, like you don't want to say it, but it might be over for him, bro. Like it might.
Really?
It might
you
be
think
over,
so?
Because you look at, depending on what happened, like you look at I forget his name, Isaiah something. I want to say it's like Isaiah Austin, maybe. I want to say his last name started with an A. He was like a 6'10", 6'11" basketball player. Went to Oregon, if I'm not mistaken. Supposed to be a lottery pick. Went and did his physical to do the NBA draft and found out that he had some kind of wild, I forget exactly what it's called, but some kind of wild, crazy heart condition that the NBA was like they were like basically telling him like, bro, like how long you been playing? He's like, I've been playing basketball all my life. They're like, with this condition, you could literally pass out and potentially die at any moment.
Fuck.
And he's like, no, I'm totally healthy. I've been playing basketball my entire life. They're like, we can't take a chance. And he never got drafted.
That's crazy.
It was supposed to be a top 5 pick.
And maybe
I don't know what to chalk it up to.
Maybe Joaquin, why are they trying to bring the vaccine into it?
Okay, so
I hadn't heard that.
This is more his lane, like that.
Interesting.
So there's definitely people with like nefarious intent that always want to bring it back to like disinformation on the vaccine, and they're like, it just like you were saying. I like that you didn't even hear the vaccine part, but you said it right out the gate. This is something that's been part of sports for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
Is that, and I think the thing that people don't realize is that if you haven't had death be a part of your life, is we are so fragile every day. Like, you could walk out the door and some shit could just totally fucking happen to you.
Yeah.
Sadly, like, I when you first said that thing about Bronny, I was like, damn, that's fucking harsh. But, like, realistically, like, that's actually probably true. His freshman season at USC is probably for sure in jeopardy. If I were him, like, I think what the best thing you would do is, like, sit out for a season or half the season, right? And then just be with doctors hand in hand. And the thing that you were saying is, like, why do you think this happens? I think it's just, like, when you're pushing your body at that high a level, like, you can really be, like, fucking with, like, what do you think LeBron James Jr.'s fucking body fat percentage is? It's like 3, 2...
I was gonna say 7 at the most.
7 at the most. You know, like, so if you're not on an exact diet for, like, your energy exertion, you're going into reserves that aren't there. So, like, you could be fucking with your heart, fucking with your lungs, fucking with your brain. You know, what you were saying about the vaccine is it's like both sides of it are politically based. And there's definitely people that are want to just be like, we were on the right side of not regulating it because, like, or we were on the right side of being anti-vaccine because look at what's happening to these fucking kids.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's bullshit because, like, the true thing is, like, nobody knows what's happening. I think people should just be counting their fucking blessings, like, every day their kid walks out the door.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, like, you think LeBron James, I'm sure, is having a very humble week, sadly. You know what I mean? Not trying to be a dickhead or anything, but just, like, on a life perspective thing, if he was here in the room, he would hear that and probably nod his fucking head. You know what I mean? But on terms of that, like, sports come and go, and none of that is equitable to your life. Like, being a football player or rugby player, there's times where I've had to, like, walk away from both games at different sections of it because, like, or martial arts even. It just, like, man, like, how many more of these blows to my head am I going to be able to take? You know what I mean?
Right. Is
it fucking worth it? Like, is this dream worth it? You know, like, getting out of another sporting event with no torn ankle, ACL, Achilles bullshit, you know. But I think with that Bronny thing, I think I'm waiting to hear more come out before I really comment on it. On Saturday at the pod, I'll probably talk more.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it more, but yeah, I just thought it was...
Has DeMar Hamlin been back on the field?
No idea. I don't watch sports. I don't know.
So I saw that he is, like, resuming team activities, and he's, like, doing better. Like, they saw that his outlook is looking better. Whether he plays next season, I don't know.
I'll say, and even with that, that's different because he's already a pro. He's already signed a contract. Like, he's already, well, NFL contracts are guaranteed, but he's already got money owed to him. Like, Bronny, the NBA could very much do like they did the Isaiah kid. Like, you know what, we love you, but we can't invest because we just don't know.
You know, it's fucked up, but you know, it could happen to somebody worse. He's set for life. So,
as a business decision, he doesn't have to play college basketball or NBA basketball. He can fucking stream on Twitch for the rest of his life.
Yeah, but I'm speaking to, like, his heart and his passions and what he wants to do with
it.
Like, that's.
But his life is more.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. You guys are absolutely. Important. I just don't always like to lean on that. It's like if a player holds out for more money, it's like, oh, why does he need to hold out? He's already a millionaire. It's like, bruh, that's not the point. It's not. So I don't want to be too, but like, the kid, his whole life has wanted to go to the NBA. Like, his dad's been saying, like, I'm going to play in the NBA with my son. He's probably been looking forward to being in the NBA with his dad. You know what I'm saying? And, like, paving the way for his little brother, and, like, you know what I mean? It's just, oh man.
Yeah, hopefully he can still play. All I was saying was, it could happen to a kid where, like, this is his only option to get out.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? Bronny will be all right.
You're absolutely right. And to that point, the kid, Isaiah, that wasn't able to get drafted, he's been playing overseas. You've
Damn.
been playing overseas, like some of those other teams.
They can make money over there, right, in China?
Yeah.
You can make money over there.
And like, kind of like that goes to his argument. He's like, I've been playing ball my whole life. I can do this. I'm healthy.
Yeah.
The NBA is like, we can't take that chance. We're going to give you millions of dollars. We can't do that.
They should have like signed like some insurance thing or like some contract where he can't sue him if he fucking, or his family can't sue him if he collapses and dies or some shit. So, well, you know.
I agree.
That is what it is.
That's what they do in the NFL.
Oh, really?
Basically, yeah.
Are you doing that though? If you're an NBA team, you doing that? You gonna sign him and be like, hey, if you die, you can't.
If he's that adamant about it, like, look, man, we got.
I hear you.
Yeah, if you're that adamant, you got to at least give us, give us something.
He overseas getting his money now.
Hey,
Every which way he can.
at least he's getting it, man.
Speaking of overseas, a few Japanese companies have like been like in the news because they've been like letting employees. They've seen a lot of they've seen productivity go up because they've let employees sleep at their desks. So they have like what looks like a beach chair, like a reclining beach chair that they sit at and they do their work. And when they're ready to go to sleep, they just lay it back, pull a blanket up, and go to sleep. And they've been seeing production go up because of that. So I guess like now, not I guess, U.S. companies have seen that and are considering doing the same.
That's fucking stupid. Just let him work from home. That's what you got remote work for. You know what I mean? That just sounds really dumb. I don't.
You don't think though that there's some office jobs that you do need to be in the office to do, or no?
I would say, I don't know every office job, but from what I've seen with the pandemic is most jobs can keep going, and you don't need an office.
I agree.
I think most of these companies only have you come to an office so they can see what you're doing 24/7. It's the only reason why they have you come in. I do think there are some hands-on jobs where you have to be there, but most jobs can be done from home. Like I go to my job and every day I'm like, why do y'all make me drive all the way here? I can do this shit from home. Mm-hmm. Why do you make me come here? Mm-hmm. It actually makes me kind of resentful because I used to work from home. Mm-hmm. It's like why do you make me drive all the way here wasting gas? I can do the same shit from my laptop. I'm doing the same thing.
That's how my brother is. He's like, yo, we worked from home for almost a year and a half. He's like, no. From this point forward, if the job isn't going to let me work from home, I'm not taking it.
That's a lot of people's sentiment now. It's like, they're like, you want me to come into the office? Like, for what? This other job pays more and I can work from home. I've tried,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been, my boss going to see this like, this nigga tripping. But it's like every day when I have to get up and I have to drive down there, I'm like, I'm about to quit this fucking place. Because, like, I live over by SDSU and I have to drive all the way to Chula Vista every day. It's just a pain in the ass, man.
It makes you think, bro, because I have a friend that he's, if I'm not mistaken, the head of global marketing for Twitch.
Oh, wow.
And he works from home.
Yeah.
Homeschools his kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he never misses a deadline. All his employees are on point. Like everyone, not his employees, but everyone that's underneath him, they're all, you know what I'm saying? Like he's very good at his job. He's really, really good at his job. And he works from home. And Twitch is a big thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You would think somebody.
Well, it's X now.
Well, I wouldn't know. But you would think somebody with that job would need to go in the office. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he works from home. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, it's most jobs like. You don't need to go into an office to do it. I think you should have to go in every once in a while, just to, show face and maybe talk about go over some things. But going in there every single day, it just seems a little silly.
Meetings and such. What companies do y'all think that would be a good idea for, and what companies you think it'd be a terrible idea for?
Strippers working from home probably wouldn't work too well. But, they were doing
fucking OnlyFans.
They were doing that. They were doing that during the pandemic.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They were doing webcam shows where they would like strip. They would get a bunch of girls, and they would like all the girls would like get into one house, and you could like pay to see which girl you want to see. It was like, I'm like, who? I know y'all desperate, but like, get the fuck out of here.
Sounds like a content house, but for strippers.
Yeah, pretty much. But it was supposed to be like a one night only type of event where you pay all this money. It was fucking stupid though.
I think if the U.S. it does sound like not just let them work from home, but if you are requiring them to come into the office, I think if you allot some time for them to chill back and take a nap, Why not?
Nah, because then I gotta be there. Listen, then I gotta be there longer. Like, how does this work? Like, is this like an extra break I get during my 8-hour shift? Like, how does this work? How would it?
I would assume it counts as like another break, because even after the pandemic, some companies like kind of like restructured their whole infrastructure. It was like, hold on, wait, like you're working from home. It was like, okay, instead of you working 8 hours, why don't you work 5 hours with 2? Like, you know what I'm saying? People restructured because they saw it didn't take 8 hours to get your whole job done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
oh yeah. When I was working from home, my shift was supposed to be 8:30 to 5. Mm-hmm. I'd get done with my work by noon, and I'd be on Call of Duty for the rest of the day.
Nice.
I was done. Like, you can get up. Yeah, I was done with.
From home
Yeah, I'd be done by noon, and they would never know.
Mm-hmm.
They never, and that's probably the issue that they don't like. You don't really know what people are doing, but if your work is getting done, what the fuck does it matter?
Because they're looking at it like, well, okay, if you got that done by noon, I got a whole another slot of hours that I can give you more work to do. You know what I'm saying? But it's like,
eat a dick.
When you're young, you don't realize like the worst thing you could do at an office job is everything they want you to do.
Oh yeah.
Once you have everything they want you to do done, they're just going to give you more.
there's always something to do. Yep.
I like it. My company learned from their mistakes. So basically, we were fully work from home at the start of the pandemic. The one thing I would say about the benefit of being in the office that you don't want to work from home is training from home is extremely hard.
Yeah.
Like that is really hard to not have somebody like next to me telling me how to do this and to like walk with me through the day.
Yeah.
Extremely hard, to having to like do it through Microsoft Teams, Zoom, whatever. Mm-hmm. But my company basically had worked from home for like a year and a half, almost 2 years, and then like out of nowhere they were like, all right, next month we're coming back 100%. And they lost 15 to 25% of their workforce in the next 2 months.
Damn.
And it was like a serious answer back because the job market also was hiring excessively.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So basically all these people were pouring out of our company into other companies for that exact reason. Well, we're working from home full time now. So they had to bend. So now we are there at the office on Mondays, Wednesdays and Thursdays, but we work from home on Tuesdays and Fridays.
Yeah.
Which is actually pretty cool. And they're really cool about start times, taking breaks, working from home when you ask. You know? And I think that's the right approach, is being flexible. But if you're going to come out like you're the fucking junior high school principal, you're going to get clowned on by some grown adults. You know?
Yeah, my job is struggling right now to hire people, and they're like, "Oh, well, ask your friend." I'm like, no, like nobody's gonna come in here and no, y'all don't offer remote work. You don't pay a whole like nobody's gonna come work for you. Like,
why?
For people that don't know, I work in repossession, so the job is already scares people. Because people are pussy, you know what I mean? Like, you explain the job, like, you know, you're in a hostile environment. Not only are the customers hostile, the people you are doing the business with can be hostile because they want their car picked up. It's like, nigga, it's not like just a snap of the finger and it gets picked up. Sometimes it is, but a lot of people are smart. They know the repo laws. They know the way around it. It's not as easy as, you know, as you think it is. So when you explain the job to people, they either never show up for the interview, or they're here, they're there for a couple of days. One person out in the yard freaks the fuck out because, you know, their placemats weren't put back in the car or something, and then they quit because they're scared or whatever. But yeah, so I don't know. Sleeping at my job wouldn't work. Like the car alarms, people yelling and cussing, the phone's going off all the time. I couldn't sleep at my job.
Yeah, my former job it wouldn't work either. I haven't like had a traditional like 9 to 5 job since 2019.
Oh, wow.
But I worked in childcare. Oh. Like I worked at before and after school programs, and before that I was a preschool teacher. So
how the hell is it? I hate kids. So
I still love kids.
You don't want to kick that little?
But I could, at times, for sure.
Yeah.
But at times, I had to stop doing preschool. I had to get the hell out of there.
Oh.
I actually might step back into it pretty soon just because I got, life is kind of changed and I need to.
Is it more like they're annoying or like what would you say the worst part is working with preschools? Because I heard like little kids aren't that bad. It's when you get older where you're like, I won't sock this nigga in the face. Like middle school, high school gets like really bad. Like, man, you're really
it's true.
You're really testing me.
For me, what it was the kids. Like because I started working with kids right after I graduated high school in 2006.
Oh wow, okay.
And so I watched kids go from behavior-wise and like respect-wise, more or less like how I was raised and like the respect and like how I would interact with adults. And I watched it completely shift to what it is now.
Yeah.
And the thing that made it like where I couldn't do it anymore with preschool was like, I get it. Like you're 2, 3, or 4 years old, so you're gonna behave like that.
Right.
But the expectation of how to handle it and the support when handling it.
Do you feel like
certain behaviors
was it like you were kind of helpless almost?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like
That's why I couldn't do it that's why I couldn't work with kids. It feels like you're in a lose-lose situation.
And
almost.
it feels like that. It felt like that at times with middle schoolers, but no, it was very, very, very stressful sometimes with middle schoolers as well. But I'm someone who feels like I'm really good at my job and I'm really good with connecting with kids. Mm-hmm. So it's like with middle schoolers, I can get through to you somehow. Mm. When you're 3, you like I'm doing what I want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A 13-year-old could look at me and be like, he's pretty cool, or no one else listened to me and he did.
I was a little shit in middle school. Like some teachers I really liked, but if I did not like that teacher, man, fuck any. I don't care about nothing you talking about, bro. Mm-hmm. Shut up. Like, and just thinking about it now, like, man, they should have cold clocked me. But it wasn't like I'd be outwardly rude to a teacher, but like if I felt like they didn't respect me, I had no respect for them. I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, my dad drilled it into me and my brothers like you have to respect adults. Like until they disrespect you.
Yeah.
Then you have.
Well, yeah. My parents.
And for me, like you telling me to sit down and do my work isn't disrespect. So I can't really get it.
No, that's not disrespect. No. So okay, no. Like teachers would talk to you. Like there are some teachers I had. They would just talk to you crazy, bro. I'm like, yeah. And in my brain, I'm like, yeah. My dad don't even say shit like that to me.
See, thankfully, I never had that, bro.
Oh, I did, man.
I had a few substitute teachers that was like, yo, especially when I went to Old Furrow, like had a couple substitutes like, bro, we will catch you in the parking lot. Like, what are you talking about, bro? But for the most part, bro. Not even for the most part, all of like my primary teachers were great teachers and good people. I definitely had a few subs that was like, I don't really know.
I went to a middle school that wasn't that great, but then when I got to high school, it got much better in high school. It got much better. But my middle school, I don't know. I went to a high school in Victorville, and the teachers sucked there too. Any time I was at like in a low income like school, and there's a lot of like gangs and like ghetto shit, the teachers sucked, man, because they just rope you in with like every other kid. Because I wasn't a bad kid, but like I think they were so burnt out dealing with the other kids that if I did anything, they would just like.
And see, I went to elementary and middle school in Southeast Dagon. It's not a lot of money there, but all my teachers were, maybe it was a school, like I went to Valencia Park, it was a performing and art school. So
there you go.
No, but it wasn't like I didn't go there because it was a performing arts school.
Oh, okay.
It just happened to be the school that was in my neighborhood.
Yeah, I went to Montgomery Middle School. Half the teachers were really cool, half of them fucking sucked. Mm-hmm. They fucking sucked. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Well, they're getting paid as much as fucking like, And
I feel bad
because it's bullshit, the system, because there's cops making like $200K a year, buying homes, starting families, when like the most important job in the fucking country is getting paid the much as getting paid basically minimum wage, if not less, for how much money they have to pour into what they put in.
And that was actually another thing that made me not want to be a preschool teacher anymore, because I was one of the ones that's like, I really love my job and I really love these kids, and so sometimes if the school or the whoever doesn't have the budget for certain things that I want to implement in my classroom, like I'm gonna spend my own money and buy it and make it a part of the curriculum. Yeah. And when you're giving so much of yourself and your own money to the job, and you feel like they don't have your back, and it's like, all right, it's time to move on and find something else to do. And now I get to film basketball and podcast and do everything on my own time and on my own terms.
Nice.
It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
The money isn't always what I'd like it to be, but
it's because it's like freelance work, right? Mm-hmm. So how do you keep it consistent where you're able to keep everything afloat?
finding the right clients. During basketball season, I never really have any. Football and basketball, because during football season, I filmed for PPR, for Prep Picking Report, and then basketball season.
I didn't know you filmed for that. It's fucking dope.
Yeah, film for
I've watched them for years. That's
same.
Cool.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then for basketball season, it's actually my mission to build here in San Diego to build a PPR for basketball, because like football has all the coverage, but
what is a PPR?
Prep Pigskin Report. It's basically like ESPN for high school football here in San Diego.
Oh, cool. That's cool. They don't have that for basketball.
Every town in the country does a version of that. PPR is like one of the bigger ones.
No, it's the best one.
It's the best one.
It's the best one. It covers more games, more highlights, more reach.
Why don't they do that for basketball? I don't understand. Wouldn't the same demand be there for it?
It is, and it's actually grown a lot over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But
you've been a part of that.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you, bro.
I have seen that.
That means a lot. Thank you, bro. I think the reason why I talked to Paul Rudy about it, who created the football Prep Picking Report, and asked him like, how come you never, we need one for basketball? And he was like, I tried like maybe like a decade ago, but he was like, it's just there's just so many basketball games. He's like football. He's like football. We can get to that. He's like basketball. Football's only on Friday night. He's like basketball. This league might play Tuesday, Friday. This league plays Wednesday, Friday. And then before league play starts, there's tournaments all over town. There's so much going on. It's just impossible to cover everything. Right. But I'm gonna find a way. I've already kind of like got the ball rolling on that, but I'm gonna find a way for sure.
I think you got it.
Last season, you were the way I actually got connected back into high school ball. Was I would watch your reels on my feed, and I'd be like, oh shit, this kid's fucking bad, or this team can actually run a fast break. It was cool to actually see that, because I grew up in a small town where sports are fucking everything. So like seeing that and living here in San Diego, I've always held on to little stories here and there about the hometown sports, but it's good, I feel, to be connected through the community in that way.
Thank you.
So seeing I remember you had that LeBron clip that went stupid a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yep.
And after that, I was like, all right, I'm going to pay attention, because I like the format, because it's like that, you're at the pickup game, you're at ball level, you know what I mean? So you're watching it from the baseline. So I love that camera angle. Yeah.
A couple of my friends that when they make mixes, they'll be on the baseline and the sideline, they'll go on the top in the stands. And they always make great work. I'm not criticizing it.
Yeah.
But for me, I want to be on the baseline. Because I need to hear. I need to hear, when players are talking trash, because, that's something I've got, because I used to play, and I know those, those things are a part of the game. But it's something that, it made me feel good to, when other, basketball players tell me, I can tell you play ball, because, you film things and you capture things that most people wouldn't. Because, I had on my sports show, when I was at when LeBron played in the Drew League last summer, one of the guys that played against him, I had already known him before the game, but we got really familiar afterwards, and I had him on the show. And he was talking about how when LeBron went to the free throw line, he was trash talking him. He's like, LeBron, I know you're gonna miss one. I just need one. Just let me get one. And I filmed it, because I was there to see him, but also he broke out of his team huddle, and it's how how he was walking, I could tell he was about to do something.
Yeah.
I didn't know what, so I'm he finna go to the crowd and be like, yo, I just knew he was about to do something. So I was like, yo, let me get this. And he went over to LeBron and started talking shit, and I'm like, yo, he's finna trash talk LeBron? Oh, shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it ended up being a moment, and a lot of people hit him up yo, you got a lot of balls to trash talk. You know what I'm saying? And he said a lot of, he plays overseas now, and he said, a couple of his teammates and his coach was even we watched that little clip, and the fact that you had the balls to trash talk LeBron was we know you can play point guard for us. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna cover the whole game, and I'm gonna show my I don't want to say fans, but the people that follow my content, I'm gonna show them the whole game. But I definitely want I enjoy highlighting those moments for sure.
Do you still play pickup ball?
I haven't. I've been saying for a couple months I'm gonna come out of retirement. I haven't played since 2020. I hosted some pickup runs during the pandemic when all the gyms were closed. I found a park in Vista to host pickup games at. And so going out there every Friday morning, we do Friday mornings at 10 o'clock. I was going to do that, and that was my last time playing. And I haven't played since then. But I've been saying I'm going to come out of retirement.
Pandemic ruined everyone's game.
Yeah. I was retired even before the pandemic. But I plan to get back to it pretty soon, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? You still play?
I played street ball my whole life. I didn't stop playing during the pandemic.
I meant to ask you. You said you play rugby. I meant to ask you about that as well.
Yeah. I played rugby in college for 2 years at San Diego State, and one of the reasons I played was like there was a break after I played football in high school. I had like the 5-year, 6-year fucking plan at State, but when I transferred over, I really wanted to play sports again, and I walked onto the rugby field, and I was literally the worst player on the team my first year. I was the last guy from the cut, and I was there just to take hits. But then, like, the second season came, and, like, I picked up the game, was able to play more. But a lot of that is attributed to playing pickup basketball because, like, that's my favorite sport. Like, after playing everything I've played in my life, like, being able to just, like a good example, I went to PB on Friday at 5. That rec center has had a run there for years, decades if not. And I was like, I just want to go there and just play and see if I can run. I go there, there's 4 guys, we need 1. I'm like, fuck it, like I'll go. I played and we won 2 games in a row and ran court and like were able to win like a 3rd game and lost the 4th game, but like ran like 7 to 10 miles, you know what I mean? And just having fun. And I never met them again, never saw them again, but there was like that moment where like we played fucking awesome basketball. It was fun as fuck, But I'm back. I'm more from a thankful sense that like anytime I play, I didn't roll an ankle, I didn't fucking turn my knee, I didn't fall, and I didn't get in a fucking scuffle with somebody because like that always happens too. You know what I mean? Because like I'm not some fucking old head that's gonna like be a jerk or anything, but like this is a great question. Basketball people. If you're playing street ball, if someone fouls you in the first couple minutes of the game, you let it go, right? If you're playing street ball.
Yeah, depending on how bad the foul is.
Of course.
But yeah.
But like, you shoot, you get a hand on the arm, you're letting it go. Second one.
Nah, I'm shooting.
You're shooting.
You calling that foul?
Nah, I'm going to my trunk.
Let's do it.
Airing out the court.
No, but like, for me, like, that happens. But like, the second time I'll call foul. You know what I mean? But like, when people start arguing calls, like, I don't give a fuck who you are on the court. Like, you have to stand with your chest out. Yeah. You fouled me. We're getting the ball. Because, like, people will try to punk you. And, like, if you're playing a game that's, like, back and forth by 1 fucking score, and, like, someone can chicken shit a possession out of you, like, oh, it hit the line when it didn't hit the fucking line, or you called foul, that's not a foul because I play here all the fucking time. Shut the fuck up. No, I'll get right up on you, like, right then and there. And, like, but that's the thing is once the game over, it's ball. I'll go up to you. What's up? We're good, right? Like,
nah.
That's how you know you're not a hooper. That's all I mean.
Nah.
But like that shit talking thing too. Like I played against like some coworkers and like like a dude drove me, took me to the hoop with his left hand. I went motherfucker, and he's like someone I work with. You know what I mean? And like he looked at me funny. I was like, what? He's like, I was like, I'm fucking with you, dude. It's not like that. You know what I mean?
That's what I love about sports, man. You could, I don't want to say be like, not be yourself, but you can let another side of yourself out when you're playing sports.
I put the mask on, dude.
I've always been that way, bro. I didn't realize it until my freshman year in high school. I wasn't really like, I wasn't playing sports, I was just at PE. Mm-hmm. We had PE, we on a blacktop stretch and everything, and I'm running around being loud and being crazy. And my PE teacher she was like, you live for PE, don't you? And I was like, what do you mean? She was like I've seen you on campus, like, because I used to dance on campus as well. She's like, I've seen when they play music, like when you're dancing, like when you're like hanging out talking with your friends and eating. Like, I've spoken to a few of your teachers. You're not crazy like this in the classroom. You live for PE, don't you? Like, you can't wait to get out here so you can just. And I was like, I guess so. And then I had to think about like when I'm like that when I'm at PE, when I play pickup basketball, I'm loud, and when I'm playing flag football, when I actually played football in high school, like, whenever I have an opportunity to play sports, it's like, I don't want to say like an alter ego, but just like anything that's pent up or like that, anything, you could just let it out. You could let it out. And even if it's like, you could go up for a shot and get fouled, and a dude fouls you, and you might yell "and one" at the top of your lungs. Yeah. But that yelling at the top of you're not really just saying "and one." You're screaming.
But what if you're like, yeah, one, fuck nigga.
What I'm saying is like when you, for me anyway, I realized when I scream on the court, I'm not screaming at who just fouled me. I'm screaming at, I failed that test. My girl pissed me off. My kids had me frustrated. I lost my ID last week and I gotta pay some money to get a new one.
Yeah.
I get to vent when I'm out here. And I didn't realize that like early on. And actually I didn't realize that truly until I tore my ACL and I couldn't play anymore.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm just in the house like thinking about why am I getting so depressed at the fact that I can't go play ball? Like I've always loved basketball, but it was never like, I didn't think it was that serious to me, like playing basketball, like going to play basketball. I didn't think the act of it was that serious to me and how much I needed it and how much of a part of my life it was until I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I think we were all talking about it earlier, and we've talked about it on our pod, that like when you don't have like a way to express yourself, a lot of that shit just builds up in you.
Yeah.
And then you get in those like moments of like anxiety where you're like, where the hell do I go with this thing? You start thinking about like the far off future that doesn't make sense, or shit in the past you can't change, you know, when like you need to just focus on the fucking now. You know, like podcasting, like that was your guys' bread and butter for years. All you guys did every week.
Yeah.
Like being a hooper, like if you're an all year guy, like that's what you are as a kid. You know what I mean? Your team is your best friends. Your coach is your second dad. That's like I explain sports to people like this. I was like, dude, when we grew up, we had to fight each other so our parents could watch us. Like that's how fucking like it was in like football, basketball. Like you had to like bicker and bang heads with your friends, your best friends, so that you had a chance to not be sitting on the fucking bench. You know what I mean?
Basketball was for sure therapy for me for a long time. And actually now, it's funny to say that, podcasting is.
Yeah.
Podcast, like I very much enjoy podcasting.
Yeah.
Very, very much. Even like sometimes like coming here to set up, because I mean I'm not at a point yet where I can just like leave my equipment in my studio and just come and sit down and I gotta come and set all this up. And a lot of the time, like even today, like I took my kids to the pool, they came back, laid down, took a little nap, and woke up, and I was like, bro, I do not.
Yeah.
And I was in Escondido. I do not feel like driving to Mission Valley, setting up that studio. I do not feel like doing it, bro. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna call him and be like, you know, we're gonna do this another day. But I was like, no, this is what you want to do. Stop being a punk. Go down there and do your fucking job. You know what I'm saying? But and again, as soon as I got when I got in the car, like a second wind hit me.
You get that
As soon as I got in here, I was like, I can't wait till they show. Like, we have a good time on the show today. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, for sure. Like, podcasting is definitely a small form of therapy for me, for sure.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's funny you say that. I have that same reaction to actual therapy. So like if I'm like I have therapy, like I'm like, man, fuck this shit. I don't want to go talk to anybody about my bullshit.
Yeah.
I can handle this shit, yada yada. And then I show up, I'm like, oh my god, my week was fucking all messed up. My boss is a cocksucker, blah, blah, you know. But like, and afterwards you feel great. You know what I mean? I think that's the same thing with doing work or podcasting, like working out, any of that shit. You fucking dread it, but then once you do it and like you do it to your fullest, like you feel great about it. You know?
For sure. You guys, have you guys found this? Well, I'll ask this for you. You've been doing it a little bit longer. Have you found that like podcasting is like a good like release for you and a good like something that like you need? I don't want to say need, but something that like it definitely like helps with every other part of your life.
It helps me articulate my thoughts better, and it helps me have to explain myself a little better because sometimes, shit makes sense in my brain, but then when you say it out loud, you have somebody contesting what you're saying, and oh, you know what? I ain't really think about it like that. Now I have to think about it in a different avenue or in a different way.
It's funny you say that.
Yeah.
For that reason, I would not fully. I would research enough to begin the conversation on certain topics, most topics, but I would not fully dive into them and not fully like figure out how I feel about it because I enjoyed arriving at how I feel about it on the podcast, like in the conversation. I have started to feel recently though that I need to like do that in my research.
Like when I look up something, or if I hear about a story, I look at I look at like the very basic facts, and then I think about like how it made me feel and what I want to say about it, and then whoever else wants to say like recently the Jason Aldean thing, right?
I'm not familiar. What is that?
So Jason Aldean's like a country singer. Well, who's gonna get mad because this is all shit for Saturday. Jason Aldean is a country singer who made a song called like "Not in My Small Town," where he was pretty much like poking the bear, like Black Lives Matter, and like he was pretty much saying like if you loot or if you like do this shit, if you do it in my town, you're pretty much we're gonna fuck you up or whatever. That's what he was saying.
It sounds like a lynch mob song.
It sounds like a lynch mob song, right? So everybody's outraged about this stuff, right? And I understood where like black people and other people were getting mad about it, but where my brain went was he never said black people, he never said minorities. So why did us as black people take ownership of all that negative shit that he said? Like if we would have just ignored him, you know what I mean? Like, and when I say shit like that, people just think I'm like on his side. So I was like, I'm not on his side. I'm just saying like, why are you assuming that just because he's talking about murderers and looters and stuff that he's talking like, why are you assuming that that's only black people do that? Like, why are you doing that? Because that makes sense. Then he could just say like, well, I didn't say it, but if you want to take ownership of it, sure, buddy, sure. So it's shit like that where like podcasting is it's gotten me in some heat with people. I've gotten praise from people, but that's just the podcasting because not everybody's going to agree with you.
Absolutely.
And people disagree with me all the time because I can be very polarizing because I yell and fuck it. Like I got a DM yesterday because I was joking, by the way. I was joking about the Usher and Keke Palmer thing where I was saying like, I was like, my girl would never get up there with fucking Usher. Don't fuck. I was joking. Like, I was clearly joking. I'm like yelling. I'm over the top yelling
and see, but that's what I think is dope about you because I don't feel like I don't think I'm polarizing at all.
Oh, well, I don't think I didn't think I was, but like sometimes I really piss people off.
And I haven't. I'll just be honest. I haven't seen every clip. You guys have a lot of content, but I haven't watched and listened to every episode. But in the ones that I have, you're definitely polar. You make people. I don't know. I'm sure it's not purposely, but in a lot of the stances you take, you make people either
like,
sternly agree with you or sternly disagree.
Fuck this guy.
They either sternly agree or sternly disagree. And I don't feel like I have very many points or stances or like that.
Yeah.
And I never want to force it, but for a long time I've been like I don't really like. I've been like I was asking my brother, I asked some of my friends that watch the show. I'm like I don't think I really like evoke emotion in people on the show.
And
those are some of the best podcasts.
Yeah, I think it's how you say it. Mm-hmm. So like if you say it with like some conviction, and somebody's on one end of the fence or the other, it could really piss them off. There was the worst heat I ever got. It was the dumbest thing. I was trying to not coach him. I was trying to tell my boy Drew to stop dating 2s and 3s. That's all I said. I said
Lord.
He was dating women. He was dating women below that he was too handsome for. I was like, he needs to stop. He was punching below because it was easier, right? So I said that we posted it. The comments were like, "Who's this ugly ass nigga?" To say, I'm like, you guys don't even know the women I'm talking about. So why are you getting upset? You have no it was fucking like there was this one chick that I'm still beefing with to this day, right? She was talking so much shit that like my friends and my family were like about to like get on her. I'm like, you guys, she's built just like me. And she got the same haircut as me. We're not making fun of this girl. Leave her alone. She's not bothering me. She's not bothering me. Leave her alone, bro. I'm not beefing with this girl. I'm not saying nothing back to her. She can say whatever she wants. She felt like I was either talking about her or talking about her friends, but I'm like, if I was talking about women that my boy Drew would dated, and he could do better. I wanted him to do better. That's all I wanted. In the clip, I mean, the fucking vitriol that these women had for me was fucking crazy.
The only time I've gotten anything similar to that is before Sarah left. I'd seen this term online, medium ugly.
I've never heard that. Medium ugly? I've never heard that.
And it was basically the definition basically boils down to you're not pretty enough for the really pretty people, but you're too attractive to date the really ugly people. So you're just kind of like medium ugly. But we were talking about like what that term means and like who is medium ugly. Would you date someone that's medium ugly? Blah blah blah. But in the comments, and I couldn't do nothing but laugh and like it, be like, yo, that was a good one. But somebody, I don't know, I don't remember if it was a guy or a girl. I think it was a guy.
Yeah.
He was like, this is a conversation. They're having this conversation. These are two medium ugly people. I was like, I just laughed. I was like, yeah, I don't even.
We had another guy.
I love when people in the comments, whether it's about the podcast or not, when I say something in the comments on YouTube or Instagram, when someone replies to it and it just like stops me, and I it's so good that I have no response.
Oh, I mean, I'll laugh at it.
I love when that happens.
You know, I come
like,
from.
I was talking about Titanic, and I was like, I don't think. I don't know. Maybe you saw it. I don't know if my opinion was that I don't think anything with the name Titanic will ever be successful because they played with God in the initial. Like they was like, God can never sink this ship. I'm a Christian.
Well, yeah.
I'm like, I don't. Anything that ever has to do with Titanic is never going to be successful because they played with God.
Yeah.
I'm going hard in the video. I'm like, because of this and that and da da da. And this girl was like, well, his logic is already flawed because the name of the movie is Titanic. Is one of the most successful movies of all time. And I was like,
damn.
It's a good. I mean, hey, when you're right, you're right.
Damn.
Like when you're right, you're right.
And I literally, legit, I sat there for 3 minutes, like, how I'm gonna get her? Like, I'm gonna come up with a good reply to that. Like, what I meant was, and I'm sitting there, I was like, she got me.
Yeah, you gotta hold the L.
I got nothing to say. She got me.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, touche.
Yeah.
Touche.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a guy comment. I don't even remember what the video was about. I forgot. But he was like he called all of us ugly, like me, Drew. He was calling all of us ugly, and I didn't have to say nothing. All the women and all our male friends were like, no, nigga, you are ugly. You have, I don't remember what we were saying. And it wasn't even like something where he should have got mad, but it was just some random dude. Because right before we took our break, we were getting a lot of like, random trolls. Like if we talk about Eminem, here comes some trolls like, oh, y'all don't know about rap, blah blah blah. It was just getting really trolly. So now, you know, I'm kind of, you know.
Oh, it's coming back.
I'm not, you know. Most trolls I just put LOL or I'm not even gonna argue with you because your whole purpose is to piss me off, and I'm not gonna let you piss me off. I'm not gonna let you. So, you know.
I want to say. No, it's never caught up because I always recognize what it is. But sometimes it's like, I got the time.
Now, sometimes people,
time. I got time today.
Yes.
It's like I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm fully aware of what you're doing, and you didn't get me. But I got time today.
Yeah. I hear that. I hear that
for sure.
I hear that.
There's a guy who took it too far with me. One time I made a politics video. It did really well, and. Conservative guy, he goes to my personal page, comments on I was talking about trans people in Target or some shit. And he goes to my personal page and says, my girl is fucking trans.
Oh, no.
Or some shit like that. All I had to do is go to his page, take a picture of his wife, and I took 20 other pictures of your personal life. This video just did up 20K views. I can do one on your fucking whole life if you want. He blocked me on everything, like blah blah blah. And I've wanted to like go back at him, but like I put the fear of God in that motherfucker because he's gonna have to find his wife's gonna have to find out that he's a little fucking basement troll. You know what I mean? Talking shit to people while he's just miserable about their fucking horrific fucking life. You know what I mean? But,
for sure.
Like that's the thing in making content, like making content, doing podcasting. Like I wouldn't just join any podcast. Like if I were to join a podcast to do something like you guys are doing, that's like you guys are showing up every week. I'm not having to hear some fucking bullshit about this, that, and the other, this drama, that drama.
Except you being sick.
Yeah, exactly. Except when you're sick, which is like something you can't control. But like, if it happens like a bunch, then of course, but like that ain't the deal. Mm-hmm. But you need, if you're going to be throwing everything, because like, I'm sure you guys have seen with this project, I came into this project and I'm giving 100% to it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not giving 90, I'm not giving 70. I am now part of it, and I'm going all in on it. And I think that's the attitude you got to be with that. And that goes with like the social media part of like being aware that like my face is out there, and if we do go viral, there's going to be a motherfucker who's going to call me every word meant to piss me off and ruin my day, but he can't have the power to do that.
You got to be really good with me, because I grew up in, I was always a dark-skinned kid. I've always had gaps in my teeth. Like, so if you say a joke, if you say something like trying to insult me, it has to be really good. Otherwise, it doesn't even faze me. I'm like,
I feel the same.
I've heard it all, man.
We're all the same age. We grew up in the same.
Yeah, like I've said all the time. I've always been really short. I've always had a big head. My ears have always stuck out. I've always been really skinny.
I've heard
a lot of different jokes, bro. So it's like, and also with that, I've always been like, I've always felt like I was handsome and I was creative and I'm fun. Like, I heard my parents gas me up before I left my house. And so it's like, but also, I'm also someone that like, I'm aware of I know I'm short.
Yeah.
I know I'm skinny.
Yeah.
I know I got a big head and I know my ears stick out. So it's like, I already know these things, so you can't really hurt my feelings.
It's not gonna work.
If your joke is funny, I'm gonna laugh with you, but you're not gonna hurt my feelings.
No. If they make a joke and I was like, you kind of got me. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna examine everything about your feature. I might not have a joke right then and there, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna
do both. I'm gonna laugh with you, but after I get done laughing, I'm going to your page and I'm finna get any info and all the notes I can. Yeah. So when I come back at you, and you finna be like,
I'm gonna get your ass.
Did I go to school?
No, I'm gonna get your ass. I'm gonna get you.
This, and then we can get up out of here. What's you guys' I guess it's kind of maybe a more difficult question for you. What's you guys' favorite thing about podcasting? What your two favorite things about podcasting?
My favorite thing probably goes back to it keeps me current.
Okay.
That's probably one of my favorites. It keeps me current with everything. And I like being able to have a place where I can go and just have a conversation. Have a conversation that's not confrontational. We can have a difference in opinion, and it doesn't get like super crazy. Like I think we had one recently where he was saying that he was saying, I don't want to misquote you, but he was saying that he believes like a kid knows if he's gay or not, and I was like, no, what the fuck? But and on the internet, that would be like, nah, we're squabbing. Like, but me and him he said yes, I was like, nah. Mm-hmm. And we talked. He said his point, I said mine. I was like, okay, and that was it. Having two people that can have just a normal conversation, I love that I'm able to do that every week. It was getting a little dicey with Drew. Drew's kind of like he if he has
like this was the change you needed.
Yeah, for some things, because sometimes he doesn't. He's a how can I explain it? Like, maybe sometimes he doesn't understand the question, or sometimes he just refuses to answer some things, and it makes hard for a conversation because he feels like I'm trying to trap him with a question or something. It's like, dude, I'm not trying to trap you. I'm just asking you. There's no wrong answer. The reason I'm asking you this question is to open the topic that I'm going to. It doesn't matter how you answer, but yeah. So it used to cause issues. But yeah, so I would say keeping me current and able to have like just normal,
authentic conversations.
Yeah, unconfrontational conversations. Because even with my mom these days, dude, like if she's like the Facebook is like rotting her fucking brain. You can't have any conversation with her without it. Just the conversation will go left if I don't agree with her. Like it just, I'm like, she's like. You know how like you talk to those like super right wing people? She's like that, but on the other side. So if I'm like in the middle of the political like spectrum, like I think they're both wrong on different times. So sometimes I'm like this on this side, sometimes I'm on this side.
Exactly.
Anytime I'm on like anything that's more like conservative and I'm kind of aggressive, like yeah, they're kind of right. My mom freaks the fuck out. Like when I said Joe Biden's a bad president, she freaked the fuck out. So it's like I can't even have a conversation with you because you're just,
okay.
you know what I mean? So and that's ever since Trump has come in office, it's hard to have just normal conversations with people. You can't have a difference in opinion with a lot of people. So I like that I can come into the podcast. And even if we don't agree on something, we can have a normal conversation on why we disagree. So,
Nice.
yeah.
How about you, Joaquin?
So I'm really into like social media marketing, and I really want to turn Jaywalk into like a profitable information sharing company, like a news source, what have you. And us having a show puts us like ahead of our competition because we're not just putting out like the same thing everybody else is putting out. We are putting out original content, and not just original content. We're both like high level original content. Like it's actually funny, it's actually well edited, and it's I love being able to operate at this high level. You know, like being able to like operate with a team that just basically comes together seamlessly is just really cool, and just being able to like have that be like one of the pillars of my mission now and like what I'm doing, and like not just having like this strong thing. I now have a strong thing with another strong thing. So it's just I'm really stoked on like what the future looks like for us, to be honest.
Oh, that's what's up. I think my favorite part of podcasting is sharing my POV first and foremost. Yeah. Sharing my POV for sure. I've always enjoyed that. Yeah. Even when I was in high school, like the reason I actually wanted to do podcasting actually was because me, my brother, and a few of our friends, like at school, like after school, after basketball practice, we would just stand around in the parking lot or just like on campus and just talk like about the day, wrestling, basketball. We would just talk. And other people would stand around and not say a word. We'd stand there for like 2 hours talking, and other people would not say a word and just stand there and listen to us talk. We'd crack a joke, they'd laugh with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I was like, and I thought about that, and when I first started watching the Charlemagne's podcast and I started watching the Joe Budden podcast, when I'll name this podcast later, I was like, yo, man. I want to, like, me and my friends could do that because we've always done that. Yeah. We've always done that. We just weren't sitting down with cameras. We've always had great conversations, and people would just sit around and listen to us talking, and they would be entertained by it. Yeah. I want to do that. And so being able to share my POV, I very much enjoy. And then I also, and this is more of a recent thing, but I want to say within like the last maybe like 7 to 8 months or so, like being out in the city and people like, yo, I really like your podcast, bro. Like, oh, I saw that clip. Like, yo, remember when you was talking about blah, blah, blah? Like, I really like that, bro. Like, oh, let me tell you how I feel about that. Yeah. I very much enjoy that part of it. Very, very, very much. I'm the opposite on that one. Like, I'm like, oh. I love that part. Even when people disagree, with what I've said. Like, oh, man, you was on the show and you said this. Like, bro, let me tell you why you was wrong. And I like that part. Yeah. I like it. As long as it's, respectful. Right. It's like we can keep a smile on our face and we can joke about it still, and it's respectful. Yeah. I enjoy that part of it. I like knowing that what I'm doing is making noise outside. I popped up on some chicks recommended on Instagram, and she's like, oh, I saw you and some other dude on TikTok. That's why I followed you. I was like, that's fucking weird, bro. That's fucking weird. But it's good, though. Yeah, it's weird though. I just thought it was. It's good though. It's very strange. Two things to be true. It might be a little weird for you, but it's also good too. I'd say it's good. It's weird as fuck. I'd say it's good. Yeah. I had a lot of fun with y'all, man. I'm glad y'all pulled up, man. Of course, man. I had a lot of fun. Yeah. Marquis, Joaquin, the Random Goal Podcast. How often do you guys drop? Where can everybody find you? All of that.
We record once a week, and the drop it's been a little. We're still working out the kinks where we drop once a week, audio and video. You can catch us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify. Anything where there's audio, we're on there. Anywhere where you listen to audio, we're on there. So
I need to go check them out, man. They got a great show. The show is really funny, very entertaining. They touch a variety of topics. Anything you think about that might have been a topic, they're talking about it. So make sure y'all go and tap in with them, man. The Random Gold Podcast. Go tap in. Been another episode of the Ain't Got It Yet podcast. I appreciate y'all tapping in, man. Until next time, take care.
Peace.